guys, this is Suzanne. Welcome to Sweet Tea and Whimsy. Today I would like to give you a real quick look at my home decorated for Valentine. The decorations are relatively simple, although they make me happy because they do feel romantic. They feel like you are preparing for your sweetheart. So in honor of Valentine's, let's take a look at my Valentine's decor. Come on guys, let's get started. So this is my mantle getting ready for Valentine's. I really had a fun time decorating this mantle for Valentine's, and of course you know I had to incorporate some blue and white. But what I did, let's just start down here on the end. I pulled out some of my Scrabble pieces and I put cutie pie, and on this end I put sweetheart, and then on either end of the mantle I used a blue and white vase. And you know I'm not too matchy-matchy, so these are not the same, but they really look pretty together. I've really been into a little bit of the Asian inspired decor, which goes so beautifully with the chinoiserie and the blue and white pottery that I love so much. So here is my Asian man and woman, and they look so pretty here with the blue and the clear and the white candles. I absolutely love this look, and to me it's more of a simplified Valentine look, and I think I'm pleased with it. I really like this look. And the garland I made, and you're gonna love this, guys, if you've never made this. Some of it I need to fix a little bit. It may have lost its shape just a little bit, but anyway, we'll go ahead and take a look at it. These are coffee filters, and they're the cheap coffee filters from the Dollar Tree. And what I did is, the white ones I simply soaked in water and then dried them out in the oven on a very low temperature for a while. And then I strung these coffee filters onto a piece of embroidery thread to create this garland. These coffee filters here I stained in coffee, and it gives them this beautiful aged look. And after I soaked these in coffee, I also heated them and dried them in the oven on a very low temp. So I absolutely love creating garland with coffee filters. It's so girly and so pretty and so dramatic. I absolutely love the look of coffee filter garlands, and if you've never made any, I encourage you to give it a try. If you would like for me to do a video on that, I can do that. It's very similar to the new book that I took and made old. The process is very similar to that. So yeah, this is a quick look at the mantle. Now, if we're in the living room, so if you come over here to this side, you'll see Daisy. Daisy's laid out on the couch in the sunshine. I pulled the curtains early this morning, opened them up, and she has been most happy all day, just laying in the sun, soaking it up, enjoying this beautiful Sunday afternoon. So here on this little side table, this is a little table that I picked up at a yard sale many years ago, and I recently gave it a new coat of paint. And you can see here, it's got some aged painting done to it. It's got a little mixture of some blues, greens, and some gray and white. and I really like the way that it turned out. I wanted it to look aged. And on top of here, I've just put a really pretty tray with a red and white ribbon and some of my yarn balls so that I can work on projects at night. Here's one of my yarn hearts that I made. And just FYI, I am going to do a tutorial on my crocheted hearts, so stay tuned for that. I hope to get that up within the next couple of days. So moving on over here, again going with the Asian inspired look, I've got this Asian man and woman, and I like them for Valentine's as well because they are red and they just have a really pretty look to them. Here's my journal that I use every single day. It's new. I got it for Christmas, and I pulled out one of my very pretty spring Valentine's looking old quilts. You can see it's got some wear and tear, which I absolutely love. And here on the couch is Daisy May. Daisy, tell everyone hello. Tell them the sunshine feels good. Tell them you're mama's sweetheart. And over here, I'll show you this piece. I don't think you've seen. This is just some quilt squares that are put together very quickly, very easily, and they're just squares, and they're just put into this glass frame to create a really pretty statement piece. So if you've got a piece that you've started that you're not really interested in finishing, or if you've got some old fabric, cut some squares and piece them together. This here is 5 by 4. It's 5 squares by 4 squares across, and it's all different vintage fabrics. I absolutely adore these fabrics, and it creates a really pretty statement piece. I've got it over here in the corner, and I really do like that piece. So coming over here to this corner, I pulled out some of my Valentine looking old quilts just to have here in the living room. And here on this table, I've got some paper rosette wreaths that I made. And this is an earlier video if you want to search for that. It's paper rosette wreaths, very fun and easy to make. I've got some books here that I covered in white paper and wrote love potions. And again, I've got some more Scrabble pieces. I've got the blue and the white that I'm carrying over here into this corner. And then we spin around over here in this corner. I have some Scrabble pieces, Be Mine, with some leftover candy canes from Christmas that make a really pretty display going into Valentine's. Carrying on the Asian theme, look at these adorable figurines. They're reading books and playing musical instruments. I've got them under this cloche, and I've got some of the really pretty crochet doilies that I've been working on. So this is a really pretty corner over here. My blue and white lamp with the fabric pieces that I made. I love that lampshade. I'm still happy with it. I've had it out for a long time now. So again, here's the mantle. Daisy May. And I think I've mentioned to you before, one of my favorite books to read. I'm probably going to read it again now that it's Valentine. Francine Rivers, Redeeming Love. I might have to go as far as to say this is the best book I've ever read. So if you've never read it, please go check it out from the library. That copy actually came from a thrift store. I've got several copies that I've picked up so that I can have them to give away when I do recommended reading for friends. So, let's move to the going into the entryway. I have decorated my red craft cabinet with some Valentine pretties. And you will see I kept it relatively simple. Let's start on the bottom shelf. Here on the bottom shelf, there is a beautiful, broken, very old soup tureen that has the most beautiful aging to it, the most beautiful pink flowers, and the most beautiful green leaves. And I have stacked it full with some vintage linens that I absolutely adore. Most of these linens have a story. They've been gifted to me or treasures that I found on trips. And I've just got them all stacked together here in the soup tureen, and I think that creates a very pretty look. This is a piece of artwork that I very crudely created. I absolutely love it. It is to remind me that love is grounded. Love has very deep roots. Love is secure and stable, and I just love this little piece of artwork. I think it's colorful, and it goes very well with the look that I was going for this year. Here are some little pots with flowers. This is just an old piece that I picked up at a thrift store for $3. I gave it a whitewash, and I use it as a little shelf, and I absolutely adore it. It has a couple of very pretty metal pieces on it, some old latches, and I don't think we can see them here on this side. But up on the top, I have some milk glass vases and votives displayed with hearts and flowers. And I also have one of my barn quilts that I painted onto canvas in gray and white. And I have a larger canvas this afternoon. I think I'm gonna sit down and create another one. This one I created several years ago, and I absolutely love it. So I think that I will create another one. In the entryway on my red craft cabinet. And here's my babies. I see you, Mama Kitty. Are you hungry? I just fed you. Now here's Daisy. Daisy's gonna check it out. She wants to know who Mama's talking to. Daisy, what are those kittens doing? You wanna go outside? Here, come on. Let's go outside. Remember, I did a video yesterday of my stairwell stenciling project. I am in love with this project. I think it turned out so beautiful. I love it. I'm going to step back just a little bit so that you can see it. It's so dramatic. It's so beautiful. Just what I wanted. So inexpensive. One stencil, one little bottle of folk art paint, and a little bit of time. I am in love with this project. Here in the dining room, I have it very simply decorated for Valentine. Right over here on this wall, there's a table here, and I have a pretty little plant that I'm rooting. A little chalkboard with a heart. And I have a piece that I painted that is on this old piece of wood that says, but by love, serve one another. Galatians 5:13. And I had this hanging up. The walls in this house are plaster, so I do not hang many items on the wall because it will absolutely tear the wall up when you hang something on the walls. So I had this on the wall, and actually it fell, it landed on my head, the corner hit my head. I will not be hanging anything else up on the wall. Over here in this corner, I have a beautiful old linen piece that I love. It's old and tattered. I just pulled out some of my old pearls and buttons, some beautiful candles. And here is another garland made with a coffee filter. It's so pretty. Here on the table, I again have some Asian inspired dishes. These are some of my most favorite dishes. I found these at a thrift store. Look at the age and the crackling on these dishes. It's Indian tree, Japan, and I absolutely love these dishes. I was so pleased when I found them at the thrift store. So I have a set of the dishes and the dessert dishes, and look at the crazing on those dishes. It's absolutely beautiful, and I paired it with this beautiful dish here. Again, I know it doesn't match, but you know me, I don't like things to match. These are some little hearts that I made earlier in a video. And on my table, I've got some old Valentines, little doggies that were left over from when my kids were little. And these beautiful napkin rings that were gifted to me by my sweet mother-in-law. On the back of these, it has a crown, and it says Dresden. I think these are so beautiful. Look at these. So this is my table setting. Just fun, whimsical, beautiful. Here's some more of the little hearts that I made. In the center, here's some of the crochet hearts that I'm going to be showing you how to make. They're quick, they're fun, they're easy. They're just adorable. This is an old scarf that actually came from Dollar Tree many years ago. And I keep it and I pull it out on Valentine's because I think it's so cute. Going into the kitchen, I've been doing laundry, so that's why the laundry basket is here. I fixed up this cute table. This is another crocheted piece that I recently did. These are some old sifters that belong to my husband's grandmother. I absolutely adore these, and I think they make beautiful plant holders. So I've got these artificial little white flowers in the sifters. And I think that makes a very pretty statement piece. I've got the old rolling pin with the pretty little towel that says roll with it. This is a beautiful piece of fabric that was gifted to me by my mother-in-law. I absolutely love this. I want to have a fancy little tea party. And these are just some little ceramic molds that I actually gave a whitewash, and I'm trying to create some clay hearts And this was my first attempt, which I don't think I'm going to actually keep this one. I think I'm going to start over, but you can see that these little molds do make some very pretty little hearts. Over here in this corner, there's nothing Valentine-y, but I do have a cute little towel that says "What's Shaking." This Mason Cash cake pan is one of my favorites. This was gifted to me by my sister-in-law. I think you're great, and I'm just a towel. Here on my stove, I've got a couple of little towels. One is Valentine's. It says, "I really like you." And here I have a couple of tea towels that were made by my mother-in-law. Very cute bird teapot and teacup with some pretty little beautiful fabrics. With my wooden Alabama mat, an Alabama mug. And here I have this beautiful teapot that I drink coffee out of a lot. Several of you asked about this coffee pot. This belonged to my husband's grandmother. I adore it. I love it, but I do use it. Inside the lid, it's stamped 35. And on the bottom, it's Royal Wessex, made in England. And it's stamped number 26. So to me, this is extra pretty at Valentine's, but I do use it a lot. Here on the countertop, I have some cheese and crackers so that when the kids come over with their friends, they can pull out and have cheese and crackers. This is an old vintage Cracker Barrel container that was gifted to me, and I collect old and vintage appetizer forks. So these are some blue ones that I found several years ago. So in the pantry I found some whole kernel corn, some potatoes, tomatoes, and very small English peas. And to this, I'm going to add some Boston butt. That's all chopped and shredded. And I'll add some salt and pepper. And I'll let this come to a boil, and then I'll let it simmer for about 30 minutes. And this, and some cornbread or saltine crackers, and we've got supper. So I'll go ahead and add some seasoning. I'm going to add a little bit of nature's seasoning. Some salt. And pepper. Give that a good stir. And it's going to be delicious. Come to a boil, I'm just going to turn it down to simmer. Put the lid on it and let it simmer for about 30 minutes. Oh, smells delicious already.